Ready or we are ready?
Pick your underwear out of your bum and get ready. I think that made it onto the stream. Let's hope so.
Hello there.
Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the zoo. How's your day going?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, my day is going like this. I went home, I made a really nice batch of tomato sauce. I was pulling it out of the fridge, and it slipped, and it went down my pant, like front, I'm not wearing pants, but into my shoes, and all over the floor.
Oh, it had already been made. Okay,
Yeah,
so it
like,
wasn't hot.
Nice, like I made it yesterday evening, and it was like this big vat, because of course when you make pasta sauce, you make a big vat.
Yeah, of course.
And my floor is also white, so you see the pasta sauce. That's kind of how my day's going.
Did you clean it up?
Of course I cleaned it up. No, I just left it.
I gotta go back to work. I don't know what's happening. David gets home and he's like, what happened here? You don't say anything.
So the other way that my day is going is that our Facebook account was hacked, so if you get messaged by anybody weird on the internet, it's not us. We're really sorry about this. It is a total nightmare. It's like such a horrible feeling to have something that you've been working on and working with like solidly and consistently for like the last 9 years, and then suddenly they're like, oh, your account has been compromised and the admin has been changed to this other person. It's really fairly horrible.
And what's we can still access our Instagram account,
right,
which is owned by Facebook, but our Facebook account is not.
God bless
okay
that they're separate accounts.
So I don't know what's going on with that, but
it also like impacts our income because people see us less. It's like it's just very shitty. So sorry to be a bummer, but that's how my day is. That's how it's
pasta
going
sauce
right now.
hacked Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know what's next on the ratchet up the scale there.
I don't think we need to ratchet it any.
I mean, what bad things happen in threes though, right? So like, I don't know what the bad thing is, but can't get much worse than slow pasta.
Yeah, something to look forward to. Yeah, so that's what's new here at Volante Design.
That's it, nothing else.
No, there are other good new things happening. We're hiring for a marketing coordinator, so if that's you, send us a blurb about yourself and your resume.
A blurb about yourself?
Yes, right? A fascinating blurb.
Is that the new way to do it?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's like it's an article, a short article.
Open source. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I can see like a really sort of cool startup doing something really sort of out there to hire people.
Yeah, like make a.
Yeah, like an art project or something, even though it's not a very like artistic job or something, and like something not even within the scope of your job requirements whatsoever, just to sort of like.
Just like data analysis. You should present sculptural representation of yourself.
Just see what this person. What does this person do? Do they like the color green?
Yeah. So what does the sculpture say about this analyst? Are they more practical, pragmatic? Yeah. Are they a little more abstract?
Do they make good pasta sauce? Do they spill it everywhere?
It was really good pasta sauce. I ate it yesterday. It was really good pasta.
The real question that everyone wants to know, did you scoop it?
Yes. I held one side of the Tupperware and I like shoveled some back in because my floor is pretty clean, I will say. But I didn't I just like shoveled the like top layer back in. Tupperware.
There was that much?
Yes. I mean, yeah.
You weren't kidding. It's in layers on the floor.
You make pasta sauce, you make it in a vat.
I don't really make pasta sauce though.
Oh, you're missing out. But
I mean, I have, but it's a lot of work, and then drop it on the floor.
Right. Fucking blows. Pardon my language.
Real torn up about the pasta sauce.
I am. Yeah. It's indicative of the larger problems of my day.
Can we
the point we're here for.
Real quick, one technical question. Is this a black hole? Would the lights help to see this any better? Is it pretty good? Okay, cool. We have so much black clothing that we're gonna have like, you can't really see. We've been working on a streaming space here, setting up a streaming space with this guy, and who I am on this side of today because Willow.
I find him menacing. Yeah.
Getting over here, but everything not everything. A lot of our clothing is dark, and so it has a tendency to just sort of absorb light. So we have lights set up, but they have incandescent bulbs,
and they're a million degrees.
Really hot.
Yeah,
it
was winter last week, and now it is the summer.
Yeah, it was literally like 50 degrees last week, and it's like 80.
Yep.
3 days later, and then I think next week is supposed to be like 50 again. So
Speaking of making black products, David and I were like talking about what shirting we should make for shirt products. And I wrote black up, and I was like, what other colors? And he was like, we listed a few, and then he was like, black. And I was like, I started with
Charcoal.
yes.
He starts
charcoal
naming
with
other names. Anthracite.
Yeah, onyx, like maybe black with a little like undertone of gray, you know?
Or like an umlaut over a letter. And
Yeah, black.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how umlauts work.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It is when you're trying to come up with new versions of the same thing. No,
That's true.
like black.
Yeah.
You could re-release it as
Carbon.
People be like, wow, is this something new and exciting?
This is carbon instead of black. To be fair, we've done that about 12 times where we discussed long and hard what to call this color scheme when really it's black garnet. We have this color scheme on our website.
Yeah, we have like a list of colors, and we'll have this
It's
sort
called
of
black
like
garnet, but everyone is ruining my life.
we'll have the discursive name, which is very much like black garnet or gray and black, and then we'll
It's
have
called obsidian.
we'll have the like
Instead, we're gonna call it
product name.
Yes.
Yeah, which is greatness within or great power.
Are you
or-
confused yet? On a scale of 1 to 10, how confused are you?
I'm not. I think they're cool. Like I understand the idea, and I really think it. Like David sort of explained to me thematically how it's supposed to work, or this idea that y'all kind of came up with. Like the colors sort of represent the product a little bit as well. Or this is how tied into it.
Yes.
But yes, it is kind of hard sometimes to keep your.
It's particularly crazy making when you're like cutting fabric and it's like, but this is black and red again, but
Yeah.
they've called it something else. What?
Or when we were packing for packs, and I haven't been here long enough to really know all the colors super well. So it's just I feel like they were sort of spinning beautiful mind style. There was sort of these colors kind of popping up. It was like, oh, do I have 3 of 3 name color here? And then I would look and I was like, oh, you mean black and yellow? Yeah, sure, I've got that.
Yeah. I mean, in the Star Trek line, black and red, like just to stick with is called Command Red because, of course. So I think we have at least 3 names for these 2 fabrics together. At least 3, maybe more. And I think that's probably true as well for like let's just say black and gray is blanket statement. At least. Anyway, you can hunt that down online.
To differentiate things, I guess.
Yes.
So, what are we here to talk about today?
We're here to talk about large paws. This jacket.
So I'm a Scorpio. Oh, the jacket. Yes. So, may look familiar. Those of you that have.
So is it still called the friendly neighborhood jacket, even though this character isn't that friendly in the world of?
It is.
He's
Friendly-ish.
friendly to like one.
Yeah.
Doesn't he eat quite a lot of brains and stuff?
Yeah, they're bad people though.
Okay.
Supposedly. So, so these are. It's the same jacket, same title, different colorways. So we have,
The Great Power colorway.
and then also.
The Greatness Within color, which somebody suggested was also Potato Begs that we change its name to. It's like no responsibility.
No responsibility. That's pretty good.
Or
We were going with the great theme. So we
With-
have
yeah.
great responsibility, great power.
I think we're suckers for like the alliterative. Yeah. Or the like repeated.
Somebody talk to David. David was pretty adamant. He was like, it's great power. And then that was the one he really wanted, which I mean, it's fine. That's cool.
Makes sense.
No expectations.
No expectations.
That would have been, I mean, that is a cool color name. Doesn't it sound kind of,
Yeah, it's pretty
sounds cool?
I like the greatness. It's so cool.
Yes.
I like the great
A little
theme.
more, it's aspirational.
But it is easy. Like once you learn the colors, it is easier to kind of like, oh, that's the color scheme from this line. So it does sort of make sense to keep them categorized.
Totally.
So if y'all are
So
familiar.
So I assume somebody might ask, and I will answer this question preemptively. Why did we bring this back? Why did this make it from Designer's Workshop to Contender? What's your theory? Got a theory?
mine,
Yeah.
people like it. It was a weird. So I mean, this released a month or so in February.
In February, yeah.
So about a month and a half or so before I got here.
Yeah.
And it people liked it, but somewhat kind of a lukewarm.
Some of
reception.
our metrics were like, so we have all these metrics, right? We're like we sort of track how successful was the product based on a bunch of other of basically how many people looked at it and how many people bought it. Those are the key ones. There are some other ones, reviews, feedback, etc. And for this product, a ton of people looked at it, like way more than average. But we didn't make the sales numbers that we wanted to quite make. So, but then when we took it to PAX,
We sold all of them in
we
like
sold
a day.
all of them in like a day. So
2
there was
days.
something like, so maybe we didn't launch that designer's workshop to the best of its abilities. There was also a lot of change happening in our department at that moment. Emma was like already just out the door, and I was trying to run the department. Me and Haley did an admirable job of keeping things afloat.
So then I showed up and we sold all of them.
Yes, so Jeremiah came and
I
rescued.
personally sold
Oh,
every
God,
one.
what did we do?
I was throwing them.
Jeremiah.
I did wear this almost exclusively at PAX for a couple of days because it was like the lightest or
You
lightest-ish.
didn't want to sweat your butt off?
Although it's still pretty it's pretty warm. But no, I think when people saw it and we had a lot of people tell us that, not a lot, but a few people tell us that the colors online were not
As clear as they could be, or like people doubted that was really how they
It's a weird. So I mean, color theory is really weird because you want them to be. If anyone out there does photography, like you want them to be realistic, but unfortunately, realistic is often muted.
Yeah.
Whenever you see like colors of fall leaves, for example, and then you see them in real life, you're almost kind of just like disappointed a little bit because it doesn't look like it does online. So I think when people see things online, they get this expectation of like,
hyper.
oh yeah, that what you just said. But it was a weird thing where like the jacket online was probably pretty realistically represented, but when you see it in real life, I think because of the contrasting colors, they look brighter than
look
they
sweet together.
do. Yeah, they look really nice. And so I think when people saw it, they were just like, wow, these colors. And then the original had like the light blue lining, which people really liked. So the colors really, really pop.
Yeah.
But somehow online that didn't translate. So.
Yes. So basically, we've decided to like take a little bit of a risk with this one. So it wasn't a definite hell yes, this should definitely move on, but we think there's more to be learned. So that's the short version.
Yeah,
of
it
why
is.
we changed our mind.
It was pretty up in the air, and really until PAX. And then people, I mean, over the weekend, we sold all of them but one that was in for repair.
Yeah.
I think is what Brian said. Like we got rid of, we went through all of them, got rid of them.
We got rid of
Threw them
our.
out the back, it was in the truck.
Yeah. That's the goal in general, is to get rid of the things that we.
That you make,
Yes.
that you're trying to sell.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really, so David sort of told me a little bit yesterday. David and I had a bit of a sit down and talked about kind of like the design inspiration behind some things. One of the things that I really liked that I didn't know how to put to words was the cut on the bottom here.
Yeah, it's a little curved. Yep.
David likened it to a button, like a Levi's jean shirt,
Yeah.
which they don't really have that much anymore. I'm thinking of like 1990s Cindy Crawford Pepsi commercial. I don't know if you
Yes, I know what you mean.
know what I mean, right? Those of you who were alive in the 90s.
I think most of our people, if they really like Spider-Man, we're alive.
I think even like Tom Cruise in Risky Business, which was a little bit before my time, like that kind of cool sort of
The only clothing I remember is those terrible tidy whities from Wish Cuban. But we went, yeah.
yeah. But I really there's something kind of like casual about it, almost like this is something that's meant to be tucked in, but it's out and you can see it,
Yeah.
which I think really adds to the like. I don't know, casual yet sleekness of it. This one's a little bit snug. I'm kind of like, suck it in.
This is, of course, the 39 that we use for
Yeah,
photos.
sample size. But I got a ton of compliments when I was wearing at PAX the 41, the original color. So I don't know. I think I'm getting one of these. I don't know which one yet.
Oh.
I was up in the air about the original color, but when I saw these, I think I was pretty.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. So yeah, it's an interesting combination of colors. And I think they read a little bit better, maybe.
Better than the original?
Yeah, maybe not read, but like they stand out in a way. Maybe.
I would say they're less standout than the original.
You think so?
Well, so I think they actually like, so my take is that the original was really like true to the like this is more translated to streetwear. Like the original was like really the ethos
Seriously.
of Spider-Man in a way that is really like awesome. Was really exciting. Is really exciting.
Okay.
But it might be a little more towards the like I don't say replica because it's obviously not at all a replica, but it like I feel like these colors just make it a little sort of practical.
I see that.
Yeah.
I guess in that vein too, I can see it maybe fitting like this. I think would be real. Like I don't usually wear that much black, but like I think when we discussed it, David was saying like motorcycle adjacent kind of attire.
Almost always, but
Yeah, like dark jeans, boot, or dark slacks, dark pants of some kind, boots, a dark shirt underneath, and then you have like you can't really. I don't know if you can see. There's two different fabrics here. I don't know what the names of them.
Yeah, I do. So this is a brushed Themis. It's actually waterproof in the shoulders and in the torso. And it's like peach fuzz. And then we have Solomon, which is the sort of material that many of our kind of heavy hitters are made out of because it's a great material. We've had it custom made for us, so we like it.
The texture is actually different.
And it is actually waterproof in the like torso shoulders. So it won't be waterproof. It's not under the sleeve. It's not waterproof.
You probably can't see it on the camera very well, but like there is these panels do like contrast with one another.
Yeah, there's a difference in luster, I would say.
Yeah, and so that just adds, I think, to the like visual interest of it. Plus the buttons are cool, and I don't know, it's just a cool jacket, man. I don't know what to tell you.
These are snaps.
Yeah. What did I call them?
Buttons.
I call snap things buttons.
Well,
is that a Southern thing?
Well, that would be wrong, but that's all right. We can't all be right about everything. Sorry. Do we have any questions from the chat?
So we have a couple of questions. Someone asked, what are each of these jackets inspired by? Anything you get?
So one of them is inspired by Venom. We would never make a replica of anything anyway. So, and the other is inspired by Miles Morales's, like couple of his suits, not like a specific one, but kind of a mix of them. And yeah, heavily inspired. But we also, would be happy for you to wear them in your regular day-to-day life. If you're not I guess we want you to wear them in your regular day-to-day life, whether you care that they're Spider-Man related or not. But yeah. David did a version of it without the spider in the back. And it looks really great. Like it looks like a superhero of unknown, or like it just sort of looks like a somewhat generic superhero design because it has great angles and these little pieces and details that just look, I don't know what it is exactly about the angles, but they just look like superhero attire.
Yeah, I think the cut is really like classic as well.
Yeah.
It lends itself to a lot of different like varieties of.
It's almost like a little like a jeans jacket that you would just throw over anything, but it has a lot more layer.
Closer so you guys can see the I don't know if you can tell as well, like the red of the thread of the top stitching is actually
A little brighter.
a little bit different color than the other red. And obviously on the back you can see, am I in the frame here? Okay. You can see the contrast. And I actually, someone online said that they like how you can see the design on the back, but it's not sort of in your face, so it's not overly contrasty.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of a neat.
I really like that there's one that's very boldly spider forward, and one that's like very not spider forward. Because if you turn around, there's really like you'll definitely see the spider, but it's not that. It doesn't jump out at you, so you kind of get to pick how much spider.
Yeah, one of the nice things about these two.
Spider forward or spider.
We had a lot of people mention this at PAX, is that the sort of like flat front on this is very like slimming. It's like our
As is the black cutout on the side because it really accentuates this
it's like the 22 the Discovery jacket. Very similar kind of like I heard a lot of people said the same thing about Discovery jacket, which I also love those as well. Like, they look good on everybody. I feel like these look really nice on a lot of people too.
It's a really similar tailoring choice that David's made here, which is to really accentuate the shoulder base, and then bring it into this nice classic kind of quote unquote man shape. But you should wear it whatever body shape or style or gender. Don't sweat it.
It's got 2 external pockets and one really cool. This one's even got a contrasting color. One really neat, really deep. One of the things that a lot of people mentioned too is how deep the interior pockets were. I was like, yeah, they're like real pockets.
Like you can actually put your phone in.
Yeah, like if you have a big phone, you can put it all the way in there. So I lose my. I have a Fox, and it's got double breast pockets, and I'll like lose my phone in there and have to sort of like go. And I have a pretty tall phone, so that's really nice.
Asks how stretchy is the material compared to other jackets.
Are you ready?
What am I doing here?
It is stretchy. There's like a 3% spandex or 2 point something percent elastine because we had that fabric made for us. So I happen to know the breakdown of the fiber content more specifically.
Yeah, it's definitely
There's a little give, definitely.
Yeah. So it's not. I mean, it's not. Is it the same as the Discovery jacket?
It is.
It is. Yeah.
It is. A lot of it is.
So it's comfortable. It's really comfortable. Like it doesn't feel. This one is actually even. I would say a little bit snug for me, but it doesn't wear that way.
I think the snaps also like give you. I don't know. Snaps feel really stable and
Yeah.
like sort of safe to squeeze a little. I don't know. There's something. Yeah.
Yeah. It is certainly a different feel and look than the typical zipper. I think
Yeah.
the buttons on the front. Just have a poll who thinks it's buttons and who thinks it's. No one calls them snaps, do they?
Yeah, we do.
Snaps are cookies, right? Ginger snap.
What?
No.
No. But yes, sure. Snaps or cookies, definitely.
So someone asked, could we see the friendly neighborhood jackets at conventions?
Now that they've made a contender phase, you could, but there aren't. We're making about 100 of them, and they won't be done right away. So they'll be online for pre-order for a little while. We wish that were not so, but there are so many things being delayed in so many parts of the world that unfortunately that's just part of this schedule or calendar this year.
Yeah, we're restocking something in a couple of weeks, and I asked in Discord about like what's the status of this, and I got probably like a 10 response reply to like, we see there's this that's happening, and then we ordered this, but it's delayed, and we got this part, we didn't get this other part, so
Save you some time and tell you we don't know. It should have been done by now.
yeah.
A lot of materials are made in China, whether we buy from them or not. We have some raw goods that are made in China that we then ship to the U.S. to have finished. But anyway, all of that is ridiculously delayed. We have a particular type of zipper that's like not available. But we are pivoting, working it out, making creative solutions, shuffling our calendar around a little bit.
Yeah, but hopefully by this, I mean, I think our pre-order date is like June?
Yeah, I think it's early July.
Yeah.
I think this one we actually have all the pieces for, which is part of why we're launching it now, because it can go forward. But that all goes to say, if you want one, I would strongly recommend you pre-order one, because by the time we get to the shows that are happening over the summer, it will have been about 2 months, and there may not be that many left. I don't know. We'll see.
And going off of that, someone asked if we have a pre-order window or if it's just pre-order.
This one is not limited pre-order. This is just a regular pre-order. We have set the numbers. They are already being made. So the limit is just the quantity that we've set.
Yeah, that's typically for like designer workshops. We set a limit
Of time. Yeah.
Especially on things that we don't maybe necessarily have a really good idea how popular they're going to be.
Yeah.
Like the Namahage Tuesday.
Yeah. Which is a really fun, big design, but we were like, do people need a waterproof cloak? Is this outside the norm of real clothes?
So it's kind of like the max we'll make is 42. But it really just depends on like who wants what size, and do people, is there basically just like a really strong vocal minority of people that want it, or is it actual?
Yeah. That's exactly why we do Designers Workshop, because we can't trust you. No. Because when we've done polls, the results and the poll result, the results of the thing and the poll results don't match. So it's easy to say you would like a jacket, and it's harder to actually buy a jacket. Yeah. And unfortunately, we can only continue on with the purchased jackets, not the wished for jackets.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea to say, oh, this is a really cool thing. We're going to make 1,000 of them, but like, no, maybe it's not a great idea.
Yeah.
And then we have one last question, and someone asked if this moves on to champion, could there be a possibility of a women's?
I think that's a great question, and I would really like there to be a women's cut, especially because there is such a long history of cool women characters, both in Spider-Man in general, and of course, as Spider-Gwen. I mean, that other woman named Gwen who has something to do with arachnids. That's my pivot. Do you like it?
It was pretty good. I liked it.
No, you're not. It's okay. So yes, I would love to do a women's design, and I would love to do some like fun poppy colors, but we'll see. It all depends on you. We also did a Kickstarter update this week, so if that goes to your spam folder, you may want to check. If you're interested in knowing what's up with our Kickstarter, you can also find the link. It'll be posted this weekend on Instagram and wherever else, Twitter. If Facebook is currently down, probably will be down for the weekend. Cool. Any last questions about the FNJ or thoughts from you?
Did you say people? Oh, did we have somebody ask a question in Discord or something before?
Yeah, it was
We already
the
answered.
house the judges.
Cool. Well, have a great weekend, folks, and you're always welcome to carry on the conversation with us on Discord. We are all on there in some capacity. Haley is a lurker, Jeremiah is chatter, and there's a variety of other.
David goes through these weird spells of not saying a lot and then just saying a
I think
whole
he's
lot.
like hyper focused on his thing, and then he's like, "Wait, there are people in the world."
They're talking to me.
And
Gotta
then-
reply.
Yeah.
And then he replies a lot,
lot.
and really in depth too.
Yeah, he loves to get into the nitty gritty. Like, yeah. Or he'll give you like his full game review,
Yeah,
but then you won't see him for 3 days because he's on to the next.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Gotta prepare.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Have a great Thursday or whatever day it is when you watch this.